Hail and Meshes Adventures, welcome to the world of Baldurs Gate 3. It's me, the Spud King, and I present you my new build for Sorcerer. Today we will make Draconic Bloodline Sorcerer, and just because it's basically latest and last subclass that we're making, I want to make it pretty unique build for this stuff, as we made for Paladin of Ancients. So, for our race of choice, we're picking half-elf, and you will be surprised how good this build will be and how fun it will be to play this stuff. I pick half-elf because I want this proficiency in shields. So, additionally, we're picking high half-elf, so we get this dark vision, Fey ancestry as always, protection from sleep basically, and we get additional high elf cantrip. So we're picking as always this firebolt, and while we're picking sorcerer, we get access to 4 cantrips, and that's like most amount of cantrips you can get at first level. And I like to pick with this build basically all cantrips you can do with different damage types. So we have Ray of Frost, cold damage, shocking grasp, lightning damage, poison spray, poison damage, bone chill, necrotic damage, and of course firebolt, fire damage. We get access to 2 spells that we can get from first level. And we will go with melee and range damaging spell. Range will be Ice Knife and melee will be Burning Hands. Subclass is Draconic Bloodline. It gives us Draconic Resilience, so we will get more HP than basically any other sorcerer, wizard or other magic classes. Additionally, we get this Draconic Resilience, so we get this armor class of 13 at the start of the game, when we are not wearing armor. So that's nice to have at the start of the game, because with other wizard classes you need this mage armor prepared, so you get this armor class and it uses your spell slots, so that's not most optimal way to get early game, but it's very nice to have if you don't want to die. And as Draconic Bloodline, you don't need it at all, you get it included in your subclass features. So, important part, you need to pick your Draconic Ancestor. And you got a lot of choices over here. Most important, what you want to think about, what is in the brackets. In the brackets you see types of damage, and this will affect how you will feel on level 6, because at level 6 spells that deal damage of your type will become more powerful, and we can become resistant to this damage type. Your base idea is to decide what type of damage you will pick throughout the game. And for today we will be making this white dragon build. We will specialize on cold damage, so any cold damage spells. That's why we're picking Ice Knife as our first spell of choice. Additionally, different types, as you can see, there's multiple cold damage types. These types will give you different spells. So if we pick Silver Dragon, we will get this Feather Fall. But as you can see, all spells that these wizards give you is kinda any spells that we can get from basically picking spells over here. But there's one spell that we can't get from Sorcerer, and that's Armor of Agaetus, that we can get only from White Dragon. So that's why it's starting very unique. And let's go pick our background. We're picking Sage and our abilities. Our abilities going all in. Our main primary ability for spellcasting is Charisma. That's why we're maxing it out at 17. Then we're getting Constitution to 15 to get some hit points. We want to be beefy. And Dexterity to 16 to increase our armor class, and we will use it for our weapons. So just like that, we're ready to go into the game. So let's level up a little bit as always. As Sorcerer, you get this create sorcery points and create spell slots from sorcery points actions, and of course you get this sorcery point each level up. You can learn new spells each level up. And right now we have everything we need, so we don't need to care about it too much. But what we can learn actually is Chromatic Orb, very strong spell. And of course we get in this class passives. It's distant spell, so we can enhance range of our spells, and twin spell. The spell can be casted on your spells and or cantrips using sorcery points, and instead of targeting one target, you can target 2 targets. That's cool part. Let's go to level 3. So level 3 gets us additional spells of level 2. There's still no ice spells over here, so on level 2 we're picking our bread and butter Misty Step. And we're getting more class passives, go for quickened spell, so we can use a bonus action to cast magic. Just like that, let's go into the battle and I show you how you play in the early game. So as this type of mage, you want to start by basically casting on yourself Armor of Agaetus, and you want to upcast it from level 2 or higher. With this spell slots from level 2, this will eat spell slot of 2nd level, it will give you 10 additional hit points, And on third level, it's really nice to have 33 hit points. So for our armor of choice, right now we're wearing no armor at all, because we get this +3 from Draconic Resilience and +3 from our Dexterity 16. And with shield we have 18 armor class. That's more than enough for our wizard. And with this armor class and this amount of hit points, instead of staying behind, you can totally go and wreck your enemies with your glaive or other weapon you are proficient with, and then use your bonus action and your spell slots to travel along the battlefield to other enemies, just like that. So we're playing aggressive magic dude with the sword and the shield. You can totally 100% provoke enemy attacks, so they will attack you, and if they hit you, they will get damaged by armor of Agatus. That's nice to have too in arsenal. And if they stand in too long from you and you don't have this spell slot from level 2 to have Misty Step to teleport to them, you can use your magic. Of course, you can use basically Ice Knife to go and target your enemies with Ice Knife basically, but you can use Twin Spell, of course, don't forget. And you can use double Ice Knife if needed to target 2 persons at the same time, just like that. And basically you can do it every turn, and if you're out of spell slots, you can do it with your cantrips. So don't forget, you can still use your cantrips, they are really nice. And just focus enemies one by one, just like that, with this crazy Sorcerer. And I recently made Eldritch Knight build. In my opinion, this build is more fun and more flexible than Eldritch Knight. Of course, Eldritch Knight will get more hit points, more power with his glaive, his weapon, his big sword. But this like more fun build definitely. So, in the later stages of the game, if you find good light armor, you can get it instead of your clothing, which with 10 armor class. But until then, you can stay on this 18 armor class, that's more than enough. 18 armor class is basically monks on level 12, and you already on level 3 get this armor class. So we continue leveling. Level 3 gives us additional cantrips, pick whatever you like. You can go with some utility stuff, you already got a lot of attacking spells, so Mage Hand, Blade Ward, not needed actually, Mage Hand can be used. Light, sometimes needed, Dancing Lights, nice one, so pick whatever you like. Again, we can pick one more spell from level 2, and we will focus on icy spells, as you already know. So for spell picks right now, just go for Exploration or Control Staff. So Hold Person is Control Staff, you will control person, you will inflict a lot of critical strikes to this person, but you need to concentrate on this spell, but that's totally okay. So Hold Person is nice pick to have. On level 4 we get an additional feat, so our feat of choice of course will be Ability Improvement, and we need additional Constitution to instantly increase our hit points, and Charisma to instantly improve our magic ability. And let's go! Level 5, that's where the fun begins most of the time. And we get access to level 3 spells. So from level 3, this coolest spell is Haste. Haste is like bread and butter spell for sorcerers. This will give you additional action for 10 turns. You need to concentrate on this spell, but that's totally fine. Level 6, that's where we get our subclass features. We get resistance to cold damage if we want. So if we getting damaged by cold damage, we will be asked, do we want to use our sorcery points to gain resistance to this damage. And when we cast any cold spells that dealing damage of this our ancestor dragon, we add in charisma modifier to the damage. That's why we need charisma as high as possible. So right now we don't care about spells too much, so we can pick whatever we like. Again, pick some exploration stuff. So Feather Fall, nice and useful. And as you can see, it's not when you're damaged, but when you cast spell. So we just casted Ice Knife, and we can spend sorcery points to gain this resistance to cold damage, just like this. And we will be resisted until long rest. So you can start basically your day with casting Ice Knife to the floor, using one spell slot, and get this resistance for whole day. Very cool stuff. So why we picked Chromatic Orb on level 2? Because Chromatic Orb can be casted with any damage type, and you can cast it as cold sphere, so very cool spell, very nice damage, and you can upcast it. So level 3 Chromatic Orb doing already 4d8 damage. So let's cast it over here, and as you can see we are rolling 4d8 and adding our charisma modifier, so it's flat +4 to any cold damage, even from cantrips. And that's like crazy stuff, so you can use your cantrips and they will be always with flat damage, additional flat damage. So level 7, last level before next feat, and we get access to level 4 spells. That's where we get these awesome icy spells. Ice Storm, 2d8 bludgeoning and 4d6 cold damage, plus your charisma modifier, so plus 4. So it's 10 to 44 damage. And additionally, it's probably making enemies prone. That's crazy. So our spells are strong. Let's make them even more stronger with our feat. We will use ability improvement, add to our charisma. Now it's flat plus 5 to every cold damage spell. So for spells over here, we don't care. Pick exploration stuff like detect thoughts or see invisibility. Level 9 is awesome. Cone of Cold, 8d8 cold damage of level 5 spell. Crazy damage over here. So level 10 we get additional meta magic, and nice ability here is meta magic subtle spell. You get the ability to cast spells while silenced, and it will cost you 1 sorcery point per spell, so pretty useful stuff. Additionally, you can get additional spells, pick whatever you like, again mostly exploration stuff, so see invisibility right now will work, and you get additional cantrip, again pick whatever you like. Level 11, that's when we becoming super strong as Draconic 3 Bloodline Sorcerer. So we're getting this fly action, and basically we can fly right now. Yeah, we can fly from this level. That's crazy, that's cool. And we get access to level 6 spells. So for level 6, sadly there's no icy spells, so no ice spells that we can use, but still there's spells like Disintegrate that can basically disintegrate your enemies if needed, or Globe of Invulnerability that will give you immunity to all damage. So pick whatever you like from these 2 spells, very cool ones. Or you can go basically with Chain Lighting for like stable AoE damage. If you need to destroy one target, Disintegrate, many targets, Chain Lighting. So level 12, our finished level. We can pick one more spell. Again, we don't care, we already finished our build, so pick whatever you like that is good for your investigations, maybe Seeming or Arcane Gate. We can pick our last feat. And you can finish this build with different types of feats. So you can go with ability improvement and add +2 to your dexterity to even more increase your armor class, just like that. It works pretty nice, you will have 19 AC. Very cool. And you will not need any armor at all, so again only clothing. Another way to go, if you got some armor that is better when you are not armored, then go with Elemental Adept and pick Elemental Adept Cold. So we can't roll 1 on damage with any cold spells. This means our damage is increased by a lot. With most spells we're rolling like 8d8, so it's +8 damage at minimum, and all spells will ignore resistance to cold damage. So that's why it's nice way to finish this build too, and I actually recommend going in this route. So you can totally get rid of any fire spells, you don't need them no more, just leave only cold ones and enjoy some cold and cool stuff. So instead of using 1 million spells like you probably do with Wizard, you can focus only on cold spells. It will make your walkthrough a lot funnier, a lot simpler, if you like simplicity like me, for example. While I like to dive deep and create awesome builds, I think this build is awesome, because it's super simple, creative and very fun to play. So you can basically forget about level 6 spells even, because level 6 spells, you can upcast any spell to level 6 first of all, but you can go and upcast Armor of Forgeters to level 6 to gain 30 hit points, or upcast it to level 4 to gain 20 hit points. Just like that. Already awesome stuff. So basically, if you know that fight will come out soon, cast Haste before the fight, wait 1 turn and then start the fight. If you're not sure, cast it on your first turn. Haste, what it's doing, it's basically giving you additional action. This means you can use your bonus action to teleport to your enemies if needed, just like that. And then you're basically using Ice Storm over here, or you're using Cone of Cold over here, so you teleport it to the best position possible. And coolest part, you can do it 2 times in a row. Additionally, you can use this Twin spell, you can use it on your cantrip, you can use it on your Ice Knife, or even you can use it on your Disintegrate level 6 spell. So you can attack with your glaive, still it's nice weapon, or just short sword, any weapon that you're proficient with, that is on your hand, and be like tanky guy who making enemies regret that they're standing nearby. Unveil on them this Cone of Cold just like that. And that's only 1 spell, you can do it 1 more time with your second action, and then you can use your Quicken spell to cast it 3rd time, just like that. That's like craziest part. So another cool way is how you can use your meta magic. You can basically use a meta magic, twin spell especially, that will use one sorcery point to cast magic that most of the time targeting one creature, to cast it on two creatures. Disintegrate, level 6 spell, just cast it on two creatures and disintegrate them. Caster. Now you can target two creatures with Caster and give this stuff to two party members. And basically now two party members get these additional actions. And that's crazy, Most of the time you cast it with your wizard, and this means your wizard can't concentrate on any spells, so he needs only to use damaging spells. As sorcerer you can concentrate on this stuff, cast it on yourself and on your ally, and basically start the fight. And I hope you didn't forget that you can start the fight not only with Misty Step, but yeah, with Misty Step 2. You can do fly action, so now you can fly around the battlefield like this, you're really flying. Use your Cone of Cold for 8d8, or you can upcast it to 9d8 up to level 6 spell slot. You just use your action, then do it one more time, then use your quicken spell and do it one more time, just like that. And basically you just killed everyone and you can go and fly away again. So just like that, you're flying away. So when enemies come close, we can use this Ice Storm, so they will be prone, and now we can use our attack with advantage and hit more often, and this counts towards this Ice Knife too, because Ice Knife using this attack roll, and Ice Knife, while being 1d10 plus 2d6, you can upcast it to level 4 for example, and it will do 5d6 damage on level 4 of cold damage and 1d10 piercing. You can use this twin spell if you need to target two creatures, and you can do a lot of damage to two creatures if you need to. Or again, just use Ice Storm again, create a lot of ice and a lot of icy surface. It's really hard to move around this surface, but you don't care because you can fly. Yeah, you basically can fly and do whatever you want. Quicken spell to cast anything with bonus action just like that and destroy enemies. So just fly around the ice, around the battlefield, and create this a lot of distraction on your enemies. With this a lot of actions, a lot of damage you can unleash on your enemies. And don't forget Chromatic Orb, very nice spell, 2d8, upcasted to 4d8, level 3 for example. Deals large amount of damage to enemies too. And of course it can be casted with Quicken spell, just like that. So that's very funny, tanky sorcerer build. And I hope you will enjoy playing it in Baldur's Gate 3. There's more cool videos on the screen right now, make sure to watch them, and see you in the next videos guys. Have a nice gaming!